We're Back podcast.
Hey, y'all. How's it going?
Hey.
How's everything going?
We've been vacationing.
Ooh.
You've been vacationing too.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all just got back from Vancouver.
I'm getting ready for a couple vacations. We went on a vacay.
Yeah.
You just went on vacay. I cannot keep up with you, by the way.
What are you talking about?
You're always somewhere.
I don't travel that often.
Girl, bye. Yes,
Girl,
I don't
the
think
fact
every
that
time
you
we turn
don't
around.
think that you travel very much is disturbing.
And then because you post your pictures after the fact, I think you're still there. So then, like,
Then
that's
I'm
how I get all
confused.
jacked up. I forget
yeah.
about that.
She was
So
like,
it's
"Oh, you've been."
because like on my birthday, we just went and ate a burger, but I was like, I thought you were still gone.
Yeah.
So then I was like, hey, when are you coming back?
No wonder you were like, "When are you coming back?"
Yeah, we're always like, and then you're like, no, I've been back from Scottsdale. I'm in Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm in Mexico now. I'm on Scottsdale. That was last week. And then Meg went from Bahamas back. She got the
Yeah.
flu, and then we went to
When
Vancouver.
are you going to Disney? Soon, right?
Yeah, and end of July, 1st of August.
Okay, that'll be fun. And you guys are going to Germany.
We're going to Germany in August, and then we're going to Destin, Florida, with all the sharks. We're gonna go have a fun shark vacay in July.
gosh.
Yeah,
I'm stressed. And the riptides.
you know I'm not. I'm just like, let's go.
Girl.
Oh my gosh.
Brown's like, it's not that big of a deal, is it? Like, they're not really sharks.
No, but
I'm
did
like,
you
no, go look. There are.
They're like, I saw videos like, go knee deep. No, sharks are knee deep. Like, they're at the shore.
So I feel like we're just gonna do like sand activities, like buried in the sand
Yeah, I
and
feel like
sand
Spencer's
castles
like
and
a
stuff like
Scooby
that.
snack. She's so little.
Yes.
She'd be like one bite.
And like we usually love to like rent jet skis and go. Like we're definitely not doing that.
If we do, like, I think we're gonna need to take like something to like.
Like a gun.
Yeah.
Are you going to Destin too? You're going to, that'll be nice.
we're taking
I didn't
our
get no
kids.
invite.
We always
You want
say,
to go?
well, come on. We have plenty of room. July 15th. Oh,
Yeah, July.
Oh, well, y'all, that's
or is it July 15th?
Oh.
Yes, that's your date because you said maybe the 18th. You did say that yesterday.
it.
Boo.
Man.
I've never been to Destin, which is
Oh,
so
it's
weird.
It's so beautiful.
So we usually go international, but
Are y'all ain't
doesn't have a
driving, right?
passport.
Gabe's daughter doesn't have a passport yet, so we're just like
You know,
we're not
you
even going
guys
to chance
can-
it.
you know
We're not
you
even going
can
to chance it. We're
Get
already
it like the day of.
yeah, but we're already set. We're ready. We're good.
Nope. Ready.
So-
Check, baby. Check, baby.
I
1,
really
2,
do
3,
love
4.
going on vacation, but it's so bad because I stress out. Like I'm a last minute
Let's talk
packer.
about what is your last minute.
Yes. I
No,
packed the-
Megan packs
I
at
know.
midnight the night
I
before.
packed the night
I go the
before.
night before.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
the night before, but do you have a checklist with? I can only imagine your Excel sheets for your itineraries. Let's talk about. That's what we're talking about today. Obviously,
Is that what we're
is
talking
like-
about today?
Yeah.
How to prepare for vacay?
But this is like
Don't listen to me. Only listen to y'all.
no, like my aunt. She'll call me the week before and be like, "Hey, same. My friend Amy. She'll call me the week before. Hey, I'm starting to pack. What's the weather like?" And I'm like, "What?"
It's wrong with you.
I do it the night before, and then I just
don't
start,
y'all
and
know I do it
always
at midnight?
Overpack. I always overpack
Yeah.
because I'm like,
You should have seen one of my favorite things about traveling with Megan is watching her try to get it all back in the bag the night, like the day we're leaving.
'cause you always
and
go
like
shopping.
she's
Oh,
like
yeah.
she's on it. She's like zipping. So in our hotel room last week or whenever it was, she was. Okay, so she's like sitting on it and she's like zipping it. She almost breaks a nail. She's screaming. She finally gets it zipped. And then she goes, shit. And she looks at the couch and there's a big pile of clothes there. So she has to like
no bra.
undo it and put it all back in there. And she gets
couldn't
it.
find
She
my bra.
fights with it all over again, gets it all zipped. She's like, yes. And then she goes, where's my bra? And then she has to do it again. It's like I'm filming it next
How
time.
do you pack your stuff? Like, do you do like the
No,
or you just
girl.
shove it in there?
No,
I went
girl.
shopping in Vancouver. I went
Okay.
shopping, and so like I was like, I had room in there, but I was just like, I didn't want to carry a shopping bag on the plane.
I'm
I
gonna
didn't wanna
post.
do all
We should
that.
post a picture of my bag and Megan's bag, like side by side.
Yeah,
We took
yeah.
a
We're gonna
picture.
post it. We're gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
Post it. 'cause
So
this is
hers
like-
is like as big as
And y'all
me.
were gone for what?
Well, imagine us. I'm 5'11", and how tall are you, Carrie?
Like 5'6".
Well, yeah, it's like 5'11" and 5'6" next to each other, and that's what our bags. They were like this. Here's Carrie's little bag, and here's my bag.
Because I take the smallest
next
suitcase.
to each other. We took a picture of it.
I think I've actually gotten the hang of especially with kids. I don't. All of my kids started flying at the age of like maybe 4 to 6 weeks, as soon as they could fly, and that actually
So give us some tips.
that taught them how to. I mean, granted, kids are going to be kids on the plane. You know, it's never perfect.
They travel well.
But I remember when Tristan was a baby, my pediatrician or his pediatrician said, make sure you feed the baby during takeoff and landing because that helps their jaw move, which helps pop their ears.
Oh, that's great
Why
advice.
did you not ever tell us that? No.
My pediatrician told
Girl,
me
I was the girl that the baby flipped out of her bed at 7.5 months and was on the floor when I went in the room because nobody told me to knock the mattress down.
911 was called.
Oh my gosh.
911 was called.
It was awful.
Oh God.
Yeah, he flipped out.
Oh no.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that is one of, and if they're too old to drink a bottle or breastfeed or whatever they, feed off of, even the like little toddlers, give them fruit
Like a
snacks,
sippy
gummy bear,
cup.
things that will continue to
Chew
their
gum.
jaw.
Make them like pull
Yeah.
kind of like
I mean,
suck.
I know gum trick or whatever.
Yeah.
Suspensy's old enough to have gum now. But
Yeah.
That helps. So anything that keeps them.
Oh, that's really good advice. What's something that changed your travel, like made it easier, like a product? Do you have anything like that, like a bag that you prefer?
I
or
pack because we like a fan, so I got a fan and I put it in if I were going to like a super hot place, like a beach or something where the AC sometimes in other countries may not be as good. So I got like a fan to put on the nightstand. And so I took that to the Bahamas.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah. T was loving
Joyce.
that.
Joyce sleeps with a box fan, like that loud fan in your room, and she will take that sucker with her in her.
Oh, you could tell her to just. Oh, she likes the air.
I told her. I told her. We were at a really
It's a
nice
noise
hotel
now.
one
Like, it's a
time.
noise.
We're at a really nice hotel one time, and her box fan is huge, and like it was like dusty and everything.
we love you.
And she goes, "Hey, Carrie, go ahead and call the valet and have them go grab my box fan and bring it over." I was like, "Oh hell no, I'm not." I'm not doing that. I was like, there's got to be an app for that, Joyce. And so I put the fan app on her phone. It's like, ooh, like, so she, everywhere we go now, she like starts that. She
better
just
than
likes the noise. It's a noise thing for her. So I'm like, thank God for the fan app.
I used to travel so I bought car seats for my kids because every time we would travel, I'd have to rent it through the car rental place. And it's $10 a day. And so if you keep doing, you could buy a travel car seat for $60, $80.
Yeah, that's smart, especially as much as y'all travel.
Yeah, and so the first time I've traveled with a car seat was when I flew to Bali for the first time, and Trent was already in Australia. So Tristan was maybe 9 years old, and Maya was 1.
Ugh.
And I traveled by myself all the way to Bali. And the thing that helped me was, and granted, our flight was 10 o'clock in the morning, same flight we took that last time.
Yeah.
They were wide awake, was her car seat, because I buckled that car seat in and she sat in there the entire time and was so comfortable because that was her
So
comfort
you put
zone.
you can put the car seat
You could
in
put
the
car
plane
seat in
seat.
the plane. And I bought a little strap that I would strap it onto a
What brand is it? Because the one that I got, you couldn't hook it, like it wouldn't, the one that I have that now I have it in the golf cart, like it won't, like you can't.
It's one of the cheapest. It's the brand is Costco, COSCO.
Oh, yeah.
It's what they give you at the rental car place.
Yeah.
Exact the same.
So I might
I
need to
might
get that
actually
for
have
Spencer.
one in
Okay.
the attic if I find one. But yeah, so because in their car seat they're comfortable.
No telling what she's going to find when she moves that you'll get.
You know what I love is I had friends buy me the pocket stroller, POCKIT.
Oh, yeah.
And it collapses to where you don't have to check your
Yeah,
stroller in. You just put it above. Best thing ever. I
Yeah.
mean, I will say because I'm tall, I feel like I have a hunchback because it's like not
Really
quite
low.
high enough, but it works perfect. Other
Yeah.
than if you put a backpack on it, you need to like make sure because it will flip because it's
'cause
so
it's so
lightweight.
light.
Yeah. So like you
I
gotta
have
be
a new
careful
one
with
for it,
that.
and I need to give it to you. I actually did a campaign for it, but it is the Stokey I can't remember what it's called off the bat, but it's a suitcase.
Really?
And you they could ride on it, and you.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah, I think I have it. It's just, Marley's too big now that she's now. Oh, I could finally travel with the kids carrying their own bags.
Oh, nice.
I don't have to check anything in. I love checking stuff in because you don't have to worry about it, but waiting for it at the baggage claim, it takes forever. So now we've been traveling with just carry-ons, and they have their own little suitcase.
It's not working for me. I can't do it. Can't do it. I gotta pack, and I pack a lot.
She
overpack. It's ridiculous.
packs.
I gotta have options.
It's because you pack last minute. You just
And because
I might need this.
I've
I might
lost
need this.
weight. So then, like when when I had gained all that weight from all the IVF, like I literally I needed options. Because I'd be like, nope, look fat in this. Nope, look fat in this. So I just throw it back in the suitcase.
I always bring 2 to 3 extra outfits.
Carrie, tell her what happened to you in Vancouver about your shoes.
Gabe now calls me Littlefoot. So I bought these really cute tennis shoes for our trip, and they were the platform Adidas, but they were the baby pink ones. And I was so excited. I was like, oh, I can wear these with a dress. I can wear them. I'm only going to pack these and some sandals or some heels. That was it. So I had 2 pair of shoes. That was my everyday pair of shoes. So the first day we get there, I put them on. I'm thinking, man, I tied this left one too tight, and I keep walking in it. And thank God we were just staying at the hotel. And when we got to the pool and I took them off, I was like, oh, one was a 6.5 and one was a 8.5.
They gave her
they gave me the
sizes.
2 different sizes when I bought them. You know how they usually check them?
It was like this. It was like a suitcase again. They were this big.
I was like, it's like our suitcases.
She's like, can you tell? I'm like, girl.
And that's all I had.
Girl.
So I was like, and
You didn't just buy a pair of shoes?
I had to go buy another pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Darn.
Yeah.
So we had to go shopping. So I actually shopped for myself. I don't shop. I don't go in stores. So I always buy online. So I did actually shop a couple times. Megan was like, I'm so proud of you. You're buying stuff for yourself.
Girl, I'd never seen her all these years. I was like, I'd never seen. Maybe one other time we went to, and you got a few things.
I'm just not a shopper.
No.
I hate shopping. I hate trying things on. I hate being around
you
people.
always buy for your kids,
Yeah.
I bought, Spencer some shoes and Taryn some sweats, but I was proud of you for buying yourself some things.
I did.
I love shopping
This is
online,
true.
at the store,
Anywhere.
anywhere.
Yeah.
I love going.
Maria,
to New
let's
York
talk
to
about your damn itineraries. For I never seen such a thing.
I should show. I think I still have it.
You should post it.
Well, only because I knew that we were only there for 6 days. Bali, the last time we went, we literally just, let's just do whatever. But I like having a plan and being able to.
I do too. I like to have some things. I like some things scheduled because I find that a lot of times especially when you go out of the country, if it's something popular, it may be booked. Right? And so I do like to, but I don't like to fill up every day. So it was nice when we went to Bali because I told Carrie, and I know we've talked about this before, but it was so nice because usually I am the planner, which was fine. It's fine because I'm okay, and I'll be like, hey, do we want to do this or this? And sometimes it's we have Spencer all the way through to, Taryn. So we've got a big, in between our kids, we have a big age gap.
We have adults,
so
we have teenagers, we have babies.
And so if we do jet skis, Spencer's now old enough, I feel like I could put her on a jet ski with me and it'd be okay. But before she wasn't, you know what I mean? So it probably will be a little bit better in Destin, this year. But that we did do that. Where was that? Costa Rica, and we did the inner tubing. That was fun because we all, except you hurt your neck, but I mean,
that was fun.
All the kids around.
Whitewater rafting, but we had individual rafts.
It was really nice. When we planned Bali, we planned together, or whatever. But when you started sending us that updated itinerary, I was
by the minute.
I'm texting Carrie, going, "What the fuck?"
Who am I? And those are first time traveling.
So walk us through your process when you're doing something like that, because I know it's just who you are.
Like what I said, when we went to Bali,
do you just look at your schedule and then do you just go Google or Pinterest the top things to do? Is that what you do? And then you decide what it's going to be, and then you decide.
And I think Airbnb helped. When this was the first time I booked stuff through Airbnb, which now I don't think we have to do that because we realized that our drivers can pretty much do anything.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that was like my first time going to Bali by myself without people that's been there before. So I was like, you guys, I wanted to make sure you guys had a good time. And, there was we wanted to take pictures. We wanted to do certain things, right?
See all the things. I mean, you're going so far. Like, you want to do all the things.
And we were literally only there, a full 5 days maybe?
Because of all the travel,
So we wanted to make sure that we utilized all the time. Now, one thing I didn't know was the Airbnb that we stayed at was so far away. So we had to break Megan out of her comfort zone because we had to get up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Talk about dry heaving.
Yeah, so that's probably like a great point to make whenever you are traveling in a different country like that, where we're used to like 29 miles being like 35 minutes, 40 minutes, or that. I think that's what we do in our head. There, it's 2 hours.
2 hours.
Because it's one street or it's one way.
And it's like 5 miles per
hour.
And
it's very windy and it's lots of mopeds, lots of traffic. Like you can't just go through it. So I think that was the only thing that's was not expected. So all that travel that we did every single day, like I would say like, ask like, okay, I know it's this, but how long is it going to take? Like I totally thought the driver was kidding when he was like, oh yeah, 2 or 3 hours. Well, huh? Wait, what? We're going to wait and back, is that there and back? No, there. Like I'm thinking, no way. So we did that every day.
So last year when we went, I found an Airbnb. Now, granted, we didn't have the view that we did because that view was very calming and, that was in the jungle, very zen.
I liked it because it was an experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
I wouldn't change anything about it.
I mean, if you think about how long did we even stay in the house? Not long.
That's true.
So definitely I would have stayed near Kuta Beach.
Yes. So we stayed near where the Alice Beach Club was, near the beach.
Yeah.
So anything was about 30, sometimes 45
That was
minutes.
nice, yeah.
But so now I know this is where you need to go. We could walk to restaurants. We can walk to the grocery store. When we walk out there, you remember the lady
I went
was like,
on
there
a
were
walk.
Snakes and
I went on a walk one day because y'all know I like to go on walks,
I
and
liked
it
our
was
house in Costa Rica, but I didn't like the food options by our house. There wasn't much food options, so that
the
was
thing about it that was crazy that we didn't think about in Costa Rica was like we were all up that mountain or that we were all on this big like mountain.
down that.
Like the house was actually sitting on like a cliff type thing. Kind of like when we were in St.
view
Thomas.
was great, though.
And the view was amazing, but every time somebody was hungry or something like that, we had to find a ride or whatever. Like we walked it one day, but there's no way you could do that every single time you wanted something to eat. You know what I mean? So that was kind of, and then we were limited at the grocery store. We're used to going to the grocery store, loading up, and then we were fine at the house. Well, there, the grocery stores are much different when you have picky people, picky kids, stuff like that. So that was actually kind of hard.
Yeah.
Can we talk about when we were going to Bali, when we went to Bali, and I was so thankful that this girl over here packed the whole
snacks. I was
suitcase full
just
of
about to say
snacks.
that.
We weren't thinking.
So her size of her bag for the snacks, that's my luggage that I take. So she fills the one whole thing of just snacks, and man, was that a lifesaver.
Yes, because we weren't even thinking about, my thing was like, we're going to eat on the plane.
No.
I was like, hey.
We ate all the snacks.
And like in the middle of the night when everybody's asleep, I'm like, Meg,
Pretzels,
what you got over there?
cookies, chips.
So
She had everything.
she was the vending machine and the pharmacy.
I mean, she's always the pharmacy. So I know if I'm with Meg, I don't even got to think about it. Like,
I'm like, what do you need?
she's got it. Because if I do, it's just we're doubling. So I'm like, eh. So we should probably just start asking each other, like, hey, you want me to bring this? You want me? That would probably
it's
work
like a
really
bad
well.
habit, but I think it's actually a good habit because I never take all my medicine, and so then I save it. So like I have this pill drawer, and so then I'm just like, oh, what if someone gets
love
sick?
your
What if
pill drawer.
Somebody has a headache. What if somebody?
I can literally call Megan and be like, I think I'm getting a UTI, or
Come on
or
over.
I'll be like, oh, I'm getting nauseous or whatever. She's like, girl, why did you go to the doctor? Come on over here. I got that. Oh, I got that antibiotic. Oh, I got that. And like anytime we would go to Mexico, this girl like loads up.
The only
like,
time
at
that
the
I
pharmacy.
regretted it is one of my nephews was over and he needed something and I was like, oh, it's in the fourth drawer on the left-hand side. He goes in there and he probably was like, my aunt's a crackhead. Like, what are all these pill bottles? I was like, oh, I save all of them.
Well,
Like,
the thing about it is, I mean, you never know when something's going to happen.
Yeah.
I keep everything too because I'm like, I might not like it.
Does it expire?
I don't
Yeah,
know, probably,
I mean-
but I don't care.
Probably you don't,
But it
yeah.
still works. Good.
Yeah, it still works. I'm sure they
I want to say that that's not an expiration date unless it's like bread because it can get mold.
Bread or
I
milk.
feel like it's like that's the.
I even think the
it's
bread
still
is
good.
I think it's a suggestion.
It's just legalities.
Yeah, it's just
like they don't wanna get
suggested
sued.
by
For medicine, I think it's a legality thing. But
Yeah.
like for my milk, that's
Yeah.
probably the only thing I'm going to pay
I don't drink
attention
milk,
to.
so I'm good.
Milk or yogurt, but like other than that, I'm still eating it. Like
I
my
need to
bread
tell you
could be
guys
like
something.
a week later, and I'm like smelling it. I'm like, it's fine.
Marie, you might not know this about me, but maybe you do because of Bali. So all these years, and I just used to always say that, like getting up.
I'm nervous
in the morning,
right now.
Yeah,
What's
getting up in
gonna
the morning, I would dry heave. Remember, like if I got up too early, it was dry heaving. But can I tell y'all, since I've been separated and got my divorce, and I've gotten up early because
You do get up way early.
like 6 something, 7 something. 'Cause I'm talking to my boo because he works, early shifts on some days, and he's calling me, and so we talk early in the morning. Then maybe I'll go back to bed. But like I haven't dry heaved once, so I think it was like
Anxiety,
yeah, I think so.
stress.
Stress.
That is so crazy because I would legit hear you in the mornings when we'd have to
Girl.
get up early, like dry heaving.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening? Is this
Yeah.
really a thing? But she would really all
Unless
the time.
I drink the night before, like Friday night was like, whew, that was like
But how rare is that for you?
But that's like
that's
super
not
rare,
like
but
you have ragers every night.
Because she sleeps early.
for my birthday week.
We totally had a rager this weekend. I was like, are we having a rager? What is happening? Like,
What time did y'all end? What time did y'all
oh
end?
my gosh, at like 10, it was
Oh.
so funny because Gabe was like, because we were tired. I mean, we got up early and started cleaning and like doing, and thank goodness my parents were there. They helped us a ton. But around 10, you could tell me and him were both like, okay,
It's time to go.
and so he was like turning off lights, and he's like, one guy, we didn't even know who it was, like was sitting there, and we were like, Gabe goes, hey man, shut it down. The guy just sits there on his phone. Okay. And then Gabe turns the light on him and he goes, hey, you see that door right there? Go out that. I'm locking it. Like he was like doing that. We're shutting it down. Like,
my God.
because there was just,
Yeah.
it was
Stragglers.
people that knew people. It wasn't just anybody. Like,
Yeah.
and all of our friends are good people. You know what I mean? But it was just funny because we were like, okay, we're done. And then I was going around to all the like little like kids like at 10. When's your parents coming? Where's your parents? You know,
yeah.
because there was still a couple of like 13-year-olds hanging out. And I'm like, are you from here? Where are you from? Where are you from? Oh, I'm from like 2 streets over. I'm like, where's your parents at? And they're like, should we go ahead and tell them now? I'm like, yeah, go ahead and call them now. So it was funny. So we are old, so we're like, we had a rager till 10. And then we're like, okay, out.
So, like, speaking about time, how early do you guys get to the airport? Or do you guys push it?
Well, me.
She lives by the airport, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm only like 8, 9, 10 minutes. But when something was, I think it was like canceled flights. You got to be so careful. Well,
Yeah.
it's summertime. A ton of people are traveling. If our flight had not been to the Bahamas,
Delayed.
had not been delayed, we would have missed it because there was a line. Like I'd never seen a line that long. And so I thought like instead of going to the first class, like, like it looked like it was going to be shorter to just go do your bag tags yourself. Well, it kept saying that his passport didn't match his name, and it had his first name and his last name. Well, I have a middle name too, but I never put it on there. Well, I guess because I didn't put his middle name, it didn't want to like match up. So the lady comes over and I'm like, look, your machine's broke. And she's like, well, there's nothing I can do. And I'm like, well, I've already stood in this line. I don't have time now to go stand in the preferred first class line. Like, I have status. Like, I need for you to get me to the front. And she's like, I can't. And I'm like, so girl,
Did Megan?
Megan Nina had to come on out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm going to need you to go get your supervisor. So, you know what? Praise you, Jesus. I stood over there. I told T to go over there. And I'm like, stand in that line. I'm going to go wait for the supervisor. And hopefully one of us gets there first. Well, dude comes out and I'm like, your machine is broke. And he was like, it's a machine. I said, well, you're responsible for those machines. I'm like, just like I have staff and own a business, if I stand in that line over there and it doesn't work, like now you can't go ask me to stand in another line. He's like, well, I just don't have any gay agents. And he goes, just come show and recreate it. So I go recreate it on the little machine and it does it. Well, when I show him the passport, saw T's picture, and he was like, "Here, I'll help you." I was like,
Yeah.
woo! And then
my gosh.
literally the phone dings and our flight was delayed. So I would say, like, if it's international, you need to for sure get 2 hours ahead.
Yeah. For sure.
hours ahead.
International.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if you're
2.
checking in bags.
2.5. Yeah, like.
Can I tell you something that Gabe did that was so nice? I've never had anybody do this before. So I had to leave at 5 a.m. to get to the airport
was
on the
so
last
sweet.
one. And he was like, I'll take you. And I was like, no, you don't have to do that. I'll just get a driver or I'll just call an Uber or whatever.
It's for our Vancouver trip.
He gets up and gets in the Uber with me and rides in the Uber with me so that I don't have to get in an Uber by myself. Rode all the way at 5 a.m. to the airport and then used her driver and came back home. Like all of that, like, so I didn't have to ride by myself. And he was like, and plus I get to hang out with you for like an hour longer.
I know. And my man FaceTimed me. And I was like, baby, I didn't want to call you because, like, it's early. He's like, I set my alarm. I had to
I
call
know,
you
it's just
before you
like
get on
such
the
a different
flight."
world. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, why do I want to cry because you did that for me? Because like, I haven't ridden Ubers I've ridden Ubers many times before where nobody would be like, nobody even tell you bye.
Yeah, my
but
man.
I'm like, okay, that was really, really, that was one of the nicest things I think anybody's ever done.
Trent, when it's either he drives me or if he doesn't, I just valet my car. Because, I'm lazy. But,
You know, one thing that I love about, one thing that I like when I'm traveling is I like to use the valet services there that will park it off site. So there's one called Freedom.
That's who we use.
Yeah.
Because of,
So Freedom,
This is
they
at DFW
will,
Airport.
Yeah, at
in
DFW
Dallas.
Airport. Freedom will actually, I've even called them on my way to the airport and been like, hey, like I'm running a little bit behind, blah, 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 blah. And so what's cool is they meet you right there. They take your car and there's been times they've asked us like, do you want us to detail to your cars or anything you need us to do? One time they took my car to the dealership for me to a service appointment while I was out of town and like kept it off site. Pick you up. You don't have to go through all that mess. And
They'll
it's really
do your
not that
inspection
expensive.
for
They'll do
you,
they'll do
oil
whatever you need to do, which is so cool. And it's really not that expensive. Parking there is expensive.
Yeah.
So I would totally look into companies like that.
I would say before we did the Freedom Park, we would prepay for parking at the terminal. And that was to me that's cheaper than valeting.
Do y'all know why I got started using a driver? It's not because I'm like sedity or anything, because I'm not. But I started using a driver. Nope, not when it comes to that kind of stuff. But the reason why I got a driver was because years ago, and this was before I had money, like I went on a flight and I had I had an Escalade like at the time, but I didn't have I come home and they had stole my trailer hitch off the back and the trailer hitch cover. And so do you know, like, to get it painted at the time, I think I had a white, like an eggshell white Escalade. And to get it painted, even back then, and that was probably 10, 15 years ago, maybe 10, 12, I don't know. But it was like $500 or $1,000. And I'm like, I didn't really have the money. So I just drove without a trailer hitch cover. And then another time, someone popped off my side mirror. And that's like another $1,000.
At the airport?
Yeah. And then the last straw was I came in on a Vegas flight and it iced here. And there was no parking and I had parked on the top floor. So our flight was delayed. We get home. We're literally using, who has an ice scraper in Texas? I know I don't, not in my car.
Oh, you were iced.
Girl,
on that
I
roof.
was using a credit card to try to like get the ice off the window after defrosting. So we had to defrost for 2 hours. 2 hours.
After you've been delayed.
Oh, I was
What's
like, and after I
terrible.
thought we were going to die and slide off the runway when we landed. And I'm like,
Where were we going when we had to de-ice?
So that's just not, I'm not happy.
Scottsdale.
Oh.
Talk about praying.
Yeah,
Sitting
I
on the
kept texting
plane.
y'all and I'm like,
They're like, they're de-icing the plane.
They're de-icing the plane.
I'm like,
and my biggest fear was like, Trent,
Girl.
what if they de-ice it? Now, de-icing took like an hour.
Well, we're sitting
And
there.
then it was so cold that day. Like, what if the engines like freeze
In the air.
in the air?
How does it, can anybody tell us how that works?
But then I think someone told me that you just need enough to get over the clouds and you're fine. Because the planes are used to
The cold. It's cold.
The cold. It's like negative 55 degrees above the clouds.
Oh, wow.
But it's because it was freezing rain.
Oh.
And The propellers are gonna get.
What is the
stuck in
craziest thing is that the craziest thing that's ever happened to you on a plane?
I think so.
Girl, I'm going to say one of the two things.
I'm gonna say the girl that tried to open the door while we were in the air. The little
Yes.
girl that was sleepwalking.
Yes.
I would say that's probably one of the craziest
Y'all,
things that's ever happened on a plane.
I'm sitting next to the exit.
The emergency exit.
Yeah, like the door. And she
door?
comes up and starts like jiggling the handle. And I jacked my leg up. I was like, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Your mom voice woke me
Oh
up.
my God. I was flipping out. I hit that.
Does she speak English? Or
She just stared at me like you could tell like
She
she was a night
was-
flight, like they had her drugged.
Yeah.
They had to have like given her Benadryl or something because she just was glazed.
The best
over.
part of the whole thing was whenever Megan called the
Stewardess.
the flight attendant over, started telling the girl, was like, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't."
I was
And Megan was like,
yes, you did. A girl. I was like, you tried to kill us. I was like, oh my God, she just tried to kill us. Like,
Yeah, she
really
was
hit that
totally
button.
gonna open that door.
Yeah, one other time, and we were coming, maybe Nashville. I don't know. It's when I had that drink mixer business, and we literally like were trying to land, and they diverted us to maybe like St. Louis. I'm not shitting y'all. That
Man, she's on a roll today.
That plane literally, like when it was time to land, it started going like this, and it literally was like.
Why was it doing that?
Talk about throwing up. Like I literally thought it was gonna like land and knock the wing off, like because it was really windy and it like started turning, like the whole thing started turning.
Land and knock the wing off.
Y'all, I was like, and it was like super turbulent, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, this is not good.
Okay, so my sister she lives in Honduras part of the time, and she didn't warn me that they have one of the shortest runways. And like, it's so short that like when they don't have room, so they just like, you're just like, I mean, it's a hard stop. And if they can't, they just take back off and they loop back around again. And so we did that hard stop, and like everybody on the plane's like, I'm like, what just happened? I'm asking Carly. She's like, oh, I didn't want to scare you.
Oh, I know another crazy thing that happened in London when I took the kids. I took DJ and his friend on my trip.
Farmer. Oh,
And
edit that.
Yeah, edit that out. On my trip for his senior year, and I decided to surprise them for a helicopter tour of like London. So we were landing, a swarm of birds hit the propeller, and like you could tell that the pilot was so scared, but he didn't really say anything. Thank God we were landing. And then when we landed, he's like getting out of the door and on top, and he's like, "Well, I just want to tell you guys, 22 years of flying, and that's never happened." And I was like.
You're like, it would happen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I haven't
Unlock all the fears.
Yeah.
So on our last trip, we were thinking of something like fun that we could do. And we're like, let's take a seaplane. Let's go out on a seaplane. Like that would be fun. We've never done a seaplane. And I'm on the phone with Gabriel, and I'm like, yeah, we're probably going to do a seaplane. He's like, Carrie, you're not taking a seaplane. Like, I really don't want you to take a seaplane. Like, because he's a pilot too, and he was like, I don't think they take care of those planes, and you don't know if they're like doing the proper maintenance, and it's a lot of things that are up and down and up and down. Like, you're not taking a seaplane. So I was like, okay, I won't take a seaplane. That day,
It was on
right
TMZ.
at our hotel, the seaplane crashed into a boat.
Yeah.
It was on TMZ, and here he's like, see, and I'm like sitting.
I sent it to him on a text.
Yeah,
And he
and
was
so-
like, see, I could have died.
And so then I'm like sending him pictures, because then we go up a mountain and we go see the black bears instead. And so I sent him a picture. I'm like, it's okay. We just went and saw the black bears instead. And he sends me back that someone got attacked
In a
like
park.
5 days
Yeah.
before in there where we were at 5 days before by a black bear. I was like, okay, I'm done.
We were pushing the limits in Vancouver.
We were just living our best life.
Besties take Vancouver.
Do you guys have any travel hacks? You, Carrie? Just show up.
This is why I love to travel with y'all, because y'all do it for me.
I
And
have a
then-
travel hack. I always pack, and you probably already know this, but I always pack all my liquids and stuff like in big Ziploc bags.
Yeah.
Even hairspray, because I can't tell you how many
times
like,
it's
it's like
busted.
exploded or whatever.
I do. Okay, so I was having a really good conversation the other day with a friend, and she travels all the time, and I was like, I don't know how we got on the subject of like, do you check or not? And I was like, well, I usually check my bags. Cause she was like, well, you can get these, like compression.
Oh.
And she said they're called cubes, and that you put them in there and then you just press them and everything like smashes down. And she's like, oh yeah, I can get like 10 outfits. And she will take her little duffel bag on. And I'm like, that would have been great on our trip.
Do you
But
have
she
packing
said,
cubes?
that
I don't know what packing
so
cubes
we'll
are.
find them. She said that they're cubes and you'll put your outfit in there and then you like smash it down. It compresses it all down for you. You don't need a little pump or anything that you just, and she said it keeps it super neat. And then it's like, you have all this room because everything's like compressed down. So I'm definitely going to use that one. And then I ordered a bag for our Germany trip, and it's basically like a big duffel. And have y'all seen it where you spread it out and then you lay out like a garment bag, and then that's like your nice stuff is like that. And then you put all your little clothes like around, and it comes up around the sides, and then your middle is just for like your toiletries and stuff like that. So I did order one.
Oh, that sounds cool.
that
What about
sounds
you,
cool.
Maria?
As far as packing, I create a list. I try on.
You
outfits.
do have a packing list?
can't
No,
believe
not a
it.
packing list. I just kind of like, it's a checklist.
If anybody has a packing list, can you share it with me?
No
It's just
joke.
outfits, I always bring like 5 extra. I double the underwear because sometimes
I did send Tia a checklist text. He's like, send me a list of what I need to pack for the Bahamas. And he
And
said it
see,
was so
like,
helpful.
And see, now I have y'all, see?
Yeah.
And then now I have G, and he's very like,
on
Yeah.
it.
he used to travel like literally like every other day, like for work all the
So
time.
it's
So he's
like-
just great at like easy packing and all the things. So, I mean, he can pack in like 10 minutes and he's like good to go. But I'm like, how do some people like do their clothing options where they can like wear something a couple times and like mix and stuff like that? Like, I'm not good at that.
Yeah, that would be something good to like
Yeah.
find
Learn.
out, like learn. But having TSA pre-check is everything.
Yeah. I have my
TSA
appointment
pre-check.
this week actually to redo that. Global, I'm going to do
Global
that.
entry, life changer. Now, if you haven't done global entry yet, they just announced that October 1st, that if the parents have global entry, the kids will get global entry.
That's
for
super
free.
cool.
Oh, that's cool.
I have
We
clear.
paid $100 per child.
Well, if you have a silver or platinum,
I have clear.
They cover it.
It covers it.
It covers it.
Wait, what?
Yes,
If you
girl,
have
it's
a-
free.
It covers
yes,
it?
So
Or
you
like-
just use your platinum Amex, and then it'll refund you back.
Or I have American Airlines like.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I'm going to totally do that then. But I have
Yeah.
clear because of my Amex.
have
And
you-
clear, they just scan your eyes and you're
Have
good.
you picked your airline to where you get airline credits back too, like up to $100 or $300 a year? Like, so you got to go pick American. Like, you got to go in there and you
I
get
need
it
to
every
sit
year.
down with you on this Amex
all
thing.
I
And
have.
like, I've
Yeah, 'cause
never
it's
looked
got
at
a
I
ton
just
of
pay that
benefits. No.
big ass fee every
No,
year.
just-
And
you
then
gotta-
I
because
don't.
then
don't
you
use
get
the benefits.
stuff back. Yeah, you gotta
And
get
I
the
also
benefits.
like that with that Amex, you can actually call like a restaurant that you can't get in when you're wherever, and they'll like get the reservation
And
for you.
since I'm older than y'all, if I die and we're out of town, use my platinum Amex and it'll fly me home to get me home.
Don't say that.
That's another benefit.
I know.
Oh my gosh, I don't like that.
Hey, I can tell you what not to do. You want me to, you ready? You got to go back to your list because you didn't finish about your list. Yeah, but don't open your suitcase when you get it off the turnstile, whatever you call that thing. And one time I had my vibrator fly out and I was on a business trip and people may or may not have seen it. And I was like, "Boop." Then they're like, Megan, what was that? And I was like,
Can I tell y'all one thing that I would suggest? I do have a hack. So, one time, me and my sister and her husband and everybody, we went to Mexico, and whenever they keep your bags and they're waiting on your room, and they're like, "Oh, we'll hold on to your bags." Well, our rooms weren't ready. We got there really early, so they're like, "We'll hold on to them." Well, my brother-in-law, I'm not going to name his name, but he decided he would hold on to his passport in his pocket. Because he didn't want to leave it like that. We didn't have a safe yet. So he put it in his pocket. Well, he might have got a little tipsy because we got a little crazy. And we went into town, like off the resort and all that, and just started partying. And he forgot about it. Well, the next morning when he woke up, he had something else in his pocket. We think he might have traded it or something.
Oh my gosh.
He had no passport
Oh my gosh.
when he got back. And so one of the major things that saved him is, so everybody can do this, he took pictures. They had pictures. They had scanned their passports before and made photocopies and always kept it in a safe at their house. So when he kept going to the embassy every day, it was closed. Like it kept saying like, be back in 3 hours. Like he finally had to sit there and just like wait. And they actually had the copies. So they say to always take a picture of your passport and the like barcode on it and keep that. But they actually made him a makeshift passport and duct taped it together. And that's what he got on
Oh my Lord.
the thing with. And then I had another friend that she lost her ID when she was in LA working, and like her wallet got stolen. So she lost her ID and she had to fly home. They used one of her prescription bottles.
Yeah, they'll go through your stuff, whatever
Yeah.
your bag is. And like my sister did that. Luckily, she had mail in her.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I mean,
Who
so
would know?
social media game, like,
So always take a picture of your passport and keep that somewhere safe, because he just called his mom. She went, got into the safe and sent it. And that's what got them actually home from
or what
Mexico.
you could do is like take a photo of it, and if I don't know if you guys trust like Dropbox and stuff, and just have it digitally there, so it's easy to just print out.
Well, if y'all ever need it, I mean, while I got this phone, I've got all y'all's passports.
Megan
I have all y'all's passports. on my
Megan
phone.
has my ID, my passports, my social. Like I'm always like, Megan, do you have this?
Send me a picture. Send me
Well,
a picture.
another thing I feel like, okay, if you're like a breastfeeding mom and you're traveling, I had to do this when I was breastfeeding. So I had those pumps. So one thing that you can do is, because you know that breast milk is gold and you worked so hard for it and you don't want to throw it away. So you freeze it. You can go through the security with it. Now, they won't test it if it's frozen. But if it's not frozen, they're going to open it up and test it. So if you don't want your breast milk touched,
Make sure it's frozen.
Make sure it's frozen. Or there's a company, especially like for working moms, Milk Store will overnight your breast milk. To
Oh,
your
wow.
house.
That's
and
super
I've done
cool.
That's what I did because I didn't want to go through the.
That's really cool.
But yeah. So.
Those were good pointers,
Past that
guys.
point in life, but
Yeah.
it is
No
what
more
it is.
breast milk for me, darn it.
0 coming out these tatas.
but I just feel like traveling just comes with experience.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
your hacks, things that you know, and
That's
feel
what I
like
like to think. I'm just experienced.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
experience.
I mean, we
Experience.
are pretty experienced
we are.
travelers.
We are.
I'm
Snack
going to try to
girl.
be more prepared for my Germany trip, and I would like to plan my outfits like good, but I never do.
Have you been, or has he?
I've been to Germany. He hasn't been. I've never been to Munich.
Okay,
And we're
you going
actually-
in October. Oh
No, on my birthday.
Oktoberfest.
August.
I'll be there on my birthday.
Okay.
We're going to see Coldplay on my birthday.
Oh, that'll be
so
fun.
I'm
But I
excited.
would say that I know my sister-in-law. She's really good at planning trips, and she Pinterests.
Well, the cool thing about it is like one of his people that he works with is from Germany, and he's going with us. He's not going to do everything with us because he's just loves to travel and he travels a lot by himself. But he created our whole itinerary like you did because he wanted us to hit all the, and Gabe loves cars, so he gets to go to like the Porsche Museum and all those different things. So we're going to do those things that he likes and things that I like, and so he already has the whole itinerary, like when we're going to train and where we're going to go. Like we're going to move around a couple of times. So I'm
that'll be
excited.
Nice. That'll be nice.
A couple of the castles that you want to go to and
You
stuff
guys
like that.
have to see the Neuschwanstein Castle. That's
Okay,
the
I'm
one
pretty sure
that's,
it's on our list,
It's
but-
the one that looks like Cinderella's.
Yeah.
Like the Disney castle.
Yeah.
That they,
Where's that at? I'll look it up.
Bavaria. I think it's in Bavaria.
I think you're like the third person who said that to me. So
But ride the horse to go up, or else you're gonna walk up. Castles are built on mountains.
yeah.
So
So we need a horse.
well, no, they
kidding.
have them at the
I'm
bottom,
joking,
kind of
yeah.
like
The
buggies.
mopeds.
The
yeah.
mopeds.
The mopeds when we walked. Those.
I love the picture of Trent on it with his skirt on and his boot.
Yeah.
Megan, like her driver
Hers.
was like a child.
My driver in Bali, we were going to this steep hill, and my fat ass didn't want to.
I have that
Walk.
picture.
Yeah, but I was like, buddy, are we going to fly off? No,
You're good. You're good. Well, that was fun.
Yeah,
That was fun.
Got all the good hacks.
that's right.
All the
Yeah.
fun hacks.
Maria.
Follow us on Got Our Back podcast. Follow our travels, inspired by Carrie, Mrs. Maria Sheldon, and Megs Unfiltered.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. We're out of here.
Bye.
Bye.